I'm Hugo Pierre. I am the Trade Union Socialist Coalition Mayoral Candidate for Tower Hamlets, TUSC for short. Okay, well, in this borough, one of our main policies is around housing. It's in absolute crisis in this borough. We've got 20,000 people on the council waiting list. We've got 8,000 people in urgent need of rehousing because their housing conditions are so poor. And we think that the council needs to build 8,000 homes over the course of the next administration, the next 4 years. The other thing is that private rents in this borough are the fourth highest in the country. We think there needs to be control of those rents. Rents need to be capped at a reasonable level that are affordable for most people. They're in an absolute crisis. Working class people are being driven out of this borough because it's so close to the city. Working class people are being forced, because of high rents, to move out. We've had we've been canvassing on some housing areas, and we know that rents are being put up so high that people are being forced to leave the borough and move not just to the neighbouring borough, but move right outside of London. That sort of social cleansing, as it were, is something that we can't tolerate. One of the most criminal aspects of living in this borough is the effect that it has on our young people. Now, youth unemployment in this borough is consistently in the top 5 in the country. It's got one of the biggest youth populations in London, and services for young people are being cut back and cut back. So we think that certainly for young people there needs to be youth clubs, there needs to be youth facilities, there need to be activities that will engage them, and we would start a campaign, particularly amongst young people, to see what services they wanted in their particular areas and how we could get those services up and running, how they can have access to sports facilities and other facilities, also what they would need on their estates in terms of youth clubs, community centres, etc. So we would start a discussion with young people to do that. One of the other aspects that affects them is education. The schools in this borough are well funded. They receive one of the highest per pupil funds in the country. Again, we would fight to defend that. We know that the government wants to look at that and attack that. But there's a shortage of school places in this borough. We would know that the government only want free schools to be set up, but we would organise a campaign for the council to be able to set up community schools in this borough so that we can ensure that every child in this borough has a school place. Well, I think the one thing that does distinguish me is that I'm opposed to all of the cuts. I'm a trade union rep myself, and I fight the cuts in the local authority that I work for on a daily basis. And a lot of our candidates are trade union representatives themselves. They have to fight cuts at work, whether it be at the ticket office, whether it be for better pay for civil service staff. So whether it be the closure of the fire station, our candidates have fought the cuts. And so the one thing that distinguishes us is our pledge not to implement any cuts in this borough and to get back that money. All the other candidates will impose the cuts that the central government hand down. I think join us in that struggle to make this borough a much better borough, but it is going to be a struggle, and we are going to need to fight the government for money. I know that's not one word, but it's one sentence.